It's OG Giggity, and I'm hanging out with Shreveport living legend, Bam Bam. Bro, what's happening with you, man? How you been, man?
What's going on, man? Everything going all right?
So, how your channel been so far? What's going on? People
Hey,
been
man, I want to give my shouts out to you and your fans, man, your people, man. They've been showing me love. They've been subscribing left and right, man. They've been giving me nothing but love, man, and I give it right back to them.
okay. That's how, man. That's good, cause bro, my people. One thing about it, they gonna come through and show love.
Yeah, they definitely did that.
So, we still got some more work to do, though. That's one thing. Can't give up from there.
Oh no, no, man, we still on the grind.
But listen, it's a famous story that happened in the federal and USP Pollock with New Orleans and Shreveport. Walk me through that day. It's like the clash of the Titans.
Yeah, on that day, I mean, it's stuff that led up to that day that if you don't know that there, then it wouldn't make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get with that. I had came from the Supermax Marion, so basically at Supermax Marion, when I came from there, I was on red card. That means I had to report to the police on any yard I was on. I had to go show my card, and the police had to see where I was. So if it was any bodies or anything happened on that yard, I'm the first suspect because I had just come there. When you come from a Supermax, if you catch a 200 series or a 100 series shot within a year, they automatically send you back. You know what I'm saying? So they monitor us for like a year on that. All right, I wasn't down there for 7 months, but anyway, when I got down there, I had to see my daughter. Once I seen my daughter, then that's when the homeboy was steady trying to get me to come out to the yard and talk. So when I came out to the yard and talked, it's like, man, it was about 400, maybe 500 of us on the yard over in the corner. And we was over in the corner of the yard. The police, they spooked their way out to the side. I talked to Mutt and them. I talked to Mutt. And a matter of fact, Hound was in the hole at that time. I talked to Mutt and a black boy and Boob and them. So we over there and I'm telling them, man, I'm giving them the spiel of how I've been living in the system. I'm giving them a spiel that Meatball had gave me. I'm saying, man, listen here, this is about us. This is about us sticking together. Everybody else stick together. This is about from the tip to the top of the boot. I said, that's the way I've been moving ever since I got with Meatball and in the system going on. I said, and that's definitely the way we should move down here in our backyard. And then I kind of, ran some stuff down to them and everything. And so everybody say they with it. We want to eat. Everybody with it. I'm telling them some things that I see wrong on our yard that we should be in charge of and everything. But also, I'm telling that a couple of incidents happened and they come get me. The homeboys from every end of the booth, they come get me, and the police already, the warden them, they already was, they pretty much stayed out of my way. So they was coming to get me. They would let me go in other units when we was having beef. When some of the homeboys was having beef with like Tennessee or another one of Mississippi over something minor. And I would go in there and I find out what it is, man. I said, listen to them, man. The South dudes really have to stick together at other places. So we got to be careful what we do down here because we can do something down here that can affect our homeboys at another place when they need to be sticking together with these dudes. And so like two dudes got into it and going on. I told them, I said, let them go on in there, take the knives, let them niggas go and get it up, and hands going on. If they don't want to do that, then they sit in their cell and get along and shit up and let us go on back with the yard. Don't be feeding in there. But anyway, so once we got all this laid down, now the homies, I had a homie down there named Scoob, and Scoob was a businessman. He was doing his thing. He's a businessman, and so he touching some, he blessing some, and going on. He giving them opportunity to make money. You know what I'm saying? They looking for the same thing I do. They looking for the business. He getting to, but they some of the homies they wanted to they was on some kind of like dope fiend moves. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to pull some dope fiend moves and going on. So he was the kind of dude that if he helped you one time, he put dude down and several dudes that he showed me this because I had got on him. I like, look, man, soldiers got to eat, so you gonna help soldiers eat. So I got on him and he kind of looked out for soldiers. Then he looked out for the soldiers going on. The soldiers take they profit and go buy a pair of brand new tennis shoes from the store and said investing it back into to what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? So now you done went by the path. You supposed to been flip that with them cigarettes 100 times for 10 times for you go jack off the money like that. And so he would kind of do like, oh man, you chose tennis shoes over getting money. You know what I'm saying? So he bag up from them. So you know they get up they got at him a few times about that going on by me being there and everything. I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. But what I seen was the lack of security that we had there. It was a big gap in it, man. And how I can tell you how, man, them dudes had chicken wire. I said, man, what did this y'all got, man? What is y'all working with? They had chicken wire. That's what that thing you or what Hound said about a homeboy getting a homeboy thing. I'm telling them, man, our security as a whole was more important to me. And when I seen some of the stuff my homies had, one time some stuff had happened. When that stuff had happened with Tennessee, we stuck on the yard. So the folks we stuck on that yard. They didn't close the door. So they didn't close the gate. So now coming in from the C yard over to now coming from the A yard over to C yard, they didn't close the gate. Now they shaking us down. So I called some homies, so the homies come to the other side of the gate, and I passed my hammer through there, and when I look at what my other homeboy passing through there, I said, man, what is this y'all got, man? I said, that's embarrassing, man. That's crazy. And so now that's when the homeboy that we had, he was moving them levels. He was moving them levels in the maintenance, in the factory. He moving them levels and he was splitting them Jimmy down. But he didn't give them to a lot of the homeboys because he said they was on some cruddy time. So he wasn't trying to fool with him like that then. But I told him, I said, man, them same dudes gonna have to save your life. I'd rather us have them when we get into it with a big enough group than us not to have them. I don't like out in the streets. I feel just as good with you having your gun as I having my gun going on when I was in that game. So my thing is, I feel just as good with you having a knife I having it going on. Ain't no fear in my heart because yours ain't no sharper than mine. So I kind of, put the thing down, make sure that everybody had something decent, took the little chicken wire from them and everything, like, So now we end up, my silly from with North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? He got in a couple of debts. He was living with me, he got in a couple of debts, and a dude, a guy from dude out of he wasn't I don't remember exactly what he was, but he come to my door and knocked on the door and asked me about my silly. My silly owed him some money, and I explained to him that man, and I went to his head man and I said, listen, man, y'all don't ever knock on this door asking for no money. You know what I'm saying? I said, asking nobody my silly, whatever business you got to do with my silly, you do it with him out there. So I jammed my silly and told him, hey man, play with what you got, but don't be holding nothing out this here selling going on, or else find you another place to move. And so he ended up doing it again, and the homeboys came and told me. So I went in the cell and I took the juice top, and I put the duress button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took the juice top and taped it over the duress button. I taped it over the rest button, so when he come in, I was finna deal with him about going out there getting in debt and going on. So when he came in, he seen the duress button and took back out the cell. He wouldn't come back in the cell. So he wouldn't come back. So they locked him up in the TV room. So they came in there and said, "Hey, what's going on, Richardson? Why he don't want to go back in there?" I said, "Man, I don't know." So then they shook the cell down, and they found three hammers. Found three hammers in there, and so boom, they took both of us to the hole. But while we was over in the hole, that's when that demonstration happened. But my seller had already said, "Hey man, I'm telling him you ain't know nothing about them knives. You just get here, just got here, man. I know I messed up. What I did caught you going on." So he went to the captain and told that, but the captain was already looking for a reason to let me out to get down there and straighten up that situation that had happened. And it turned out then that some of the homies from down on New Orleans end had made a move on my homeboy at school. They had made a move on school, had tried to bring my move. Really, it didn't go over successful cause they ain't really getting nothing cause he stood his ground. And then, but they smack a couple of them around and going on to some of the little lightweight when they smack them around and everything. So I get out and I'm trying to, cause I had made a statement out on the yard about us. We in our own backyard, man. I said some of these young homies ain't never and them some of these young homies ain't never been nowhere. I said, but the fact that they're in their yard, them folks shipped me thousands of miles away when I first got locked up. You know what I'm saying? I said, now you got our homies that right in their own yard. They can get visit. They can go on. I had already had vans coming down there. I was trying to help the homeboys on the south end. I was trying to help them because I had vans coming down there bringing some of the homeboys from Shreveport and down that way. So I'm telling them, man, let's get some money and start getting y'all some visits and all this him. So I'm telling them, we don't want to jack off being in our yard. I said, and you can get visits, you can check on this and going on. Now you going in here, 5 of y'all going in here robbing the dude for a gallon of wine from New York, and we end up had to shut down the yard. I said, you robbing the dude for a gallon of wine, and y'all can't even get drunk out of it because it ain't nothing about a quart each. I said, man, them stupid moves ain't going on, man. If you gonna jack the spot, I'll jack it out for something. So we get through that. All right, I get out, and don't nobody want to. A lot of homeboys don't want to tell me what the move was about and what happened. So some homeboys from Tennessee, they helped me to it. So I went to the homeboy from New Orleans, and I kind of laid down some of the stuff that I had heard, cause they tried to make it like it was over the situation at one time when I had got there. The homeboy had a DC dude in the cell with him, but he didn't want the homeboy in the cell with him because his homeboy wasn't what he said. Homeboy wasn't clean and he was on some bull crap time. So they was getting on him about the fact that he chose to have a DC dude cell in there with him because they had got into it with Baltimore and DC right before I got down there. You know what I'm saying? And then Lala and them dudes, they was in Super Mac Marion with me and everything. So when I got on the yard, they like, no man, we fool with y'all and everything. So anyway, long story short, they built that case on him because the dude who had the DC dude in there with him, he was getting his thing too. So they built that case on him, that they used something that I had said, because I had said, man, because they dudes were letting homeboys get into it in the unit, and they wasn't backing them. And I told him, I said, man, all that stuff go out any part of the boot, man. If a nigga will get into it over there from any part of that boot, y'all better be dancing with him. I said, if y'all ain't dancing with him, when I come over there tomorrow, or when I come over there after the situation is, anybody in there who didn't do nothing, they gonna be dealt with. And so they used that, they flipped that around and they used that as an excuse to to go at him because he wasn't. But they actually thought I was gone because after a year, like I said, you catch a 100 serious shot within a year, you automatically got to go back to Maryland.
Mhm.
So they thought I was gonna get shipped. So anyway, they go pull that dope fiend move and they pulled it off and everything. So when I come out, I'm asking the dudes, and Tennessee dude and kind of gave me the 13 people who pretty much was involved in it. And then so I go to my man, Mutt, and I'm trying to talk to him about this. I said, well, look here, man. When school come out here, we gonna sit down and we gonna decide what to happen. If y'all they can't live together on this yard, then anybody who's involved will deal with it accordingly, or we'll make it, or we gonna deal with it and going on. I said, school, but he a businessman, man, whatever. I said, see what I'm saying? So we gonna see what's happening. We ain't gonna deal with him or deal with the situation while he in there. He got to come out. And they was like, oh man, I said, no, he got to come out. I said, and they like, so they bring me all this stuff. They bring, man had hundreds and hundreds of books of stamps. They bring him his store, his everything like that. And I tell him, I said, no, there ain't way we gonna do it. They said, man, you get everything he had, you can run the yard. I said, man, all I want is him out. Then we can go from there and going on. And they said, so now I had two of the homies from New Orleans that was jammed with me because of my association with Meatball. They used to love to hear stories about Meatball, and they seen the pictures of me and Meatball, and they seen how me and Meatball were getting at each other. So they used to come holler at me. So when they holler at me, I used to break because they were lit hustlers. They'll come back, get cigarettes from me, and bam, come back, and they come back with money. So I was looking out for him. So So they come to me and they tell me, they said, well, you know they gonna bring Scuba Move, right? I said they gonna bring Move. He said, yeah, when the lieutenant when the lieutenant come down to let him out, when they let the people out, the lieutenant, they gonna bring him a Move. I said, so they told me we gonna get out here and straighten everything out. They gonna bring him a Move. I said, okay, well, so who? And he like, man, they like, it was two of them. They like, man, what? Please, whatever you do, man, don't tell them that that we told you. I said, man, I would never do that there, man. I said, but I need to know who is the people that's supposed to be involved in that. So they said, well, man, they gonna send hound at him and going on. They said, in they words, they said, man, they said, man, he a torpedo, man. They got him. They sending him. They said, black boy sending him. That black boy was, he's super slick. They said he's sending him on dope, or crash dumb and move. So. And I like the little dude. Matter of fact, I made sure that he had one because I seen he was about his business. You know what I'm saying? So I made sure. So I said, damn, man, So I was like, okay. So they give us all, give me all the names and everything like that. I said, so they gonna meet him up there when the thing, yeah. And then they said the whole play is supposed to be, he gonna bring him a move there and then be like, oh man, well, Negro sold me some death back there in the yard. That's what the dude tell her. So the next morning, I like say, man, I said, okay then, well, I ain't finna wait for this to happen, you know what I'm saying? I don't do no waiting on nothing. So I'm watching how everybody moving. I'm looking at almost every homeboy that they done told me that's involved with this here, they acting skittish and say, hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Booby, what's going on, black boy? Boo boo. Huh? Ain't nothing around. He said everything good around, so I'm getting over here. I gotta go over here to the yard here. So all right, so I sit there and peep it. So I said, okay. So I got everybody, I told them, I said, I'm going. I said, now, if y'all wanna go, it's on y'all. Y'all stay here and deal with whatever left over. I said, but I'm finna deal with this because it's not gonna happen. Cause it ain't about school no more. It's about going against what you done gave your word to me. You got a chance to tell me what I'm talking to you, man. Fuck what you saying, and then we can do that right there. But here you sitting here skinning and grinning in my face, and then you finna go bring the homeboy move. So anyway, I mentioned it to the dudes and going on. So 4, 5 of the most scary dudes from my end, they jet out and turned around. But some of the other men, they like, man, we rolling with you, man. And I had a few homeboys that I knew from the street, and they like, we rolling with you, man. Who we getting? I said, well, we gonna meet them we gonna meet them where they at. So I said, listen here, when they call, man, whoever you gonna get, you need to be bound. And so now somebody them peep Hound and Ape, called Hound and Ape, they didn't come out to a yard. They come out to a yard. I actually wasn't even supposed to. They had to talk me out of going on the first move. I supposed to been doing the clean up. So they like, and when Hound and Ape come out on the yard, when our homeboys had one homeboy from Shreveport had them gave up the move just like them two gave up the move from what's called. So they come out on the yard and Hound get under the they got a little small tower in the middle of the yard where the gate open. So Hound go stand under that. And then so Ape go out over there. So I said, okay. And then so they like, well, man, they everybody they up on everything going on. I said, man, so I told man, look at that ain't stopping nothing. So I come walking down the walk. When I'm walking down the walk, Hound sitting up under the thing. Like I said, he looking at me and looking as close I get to him. I'm steady walking straight at him and going on. So I get closer. So I said, man, what's up, man? What's going on with this here? Like that. So what, man? What's going on? What's going on? So he come up with his Jimmy. So he come up with his Jimmy, and he come down and he came down on me and he hit me in the head. So when he hit me in the head, I came up, I caught him in the jaw. When I caught him in the jaw, I stretched it out and I seen his jaw lay open. So then he come back again and hit me right here. So then I come back and I hit him in the neck. So when I hit him in the neck, and he turned. I think another homeboy got at him because he turned. So me turn, I'm sitting there, I ain't got nobody to dance with. So I took out toward 8. So I took out the 8. And then 8, I grabbed 8 by the shoulder when I grab him by his shirt. And he started running backwards, running back on his toe. But he coming down too. Now he hitting me on the head. So I'm trying to hit him in the throat, but I keep hitting him in the chest. And then he end up falling. When he fall back, I get on top of him. And when I get on top of him, I hit him like 2 times in the neck. And then the police ran over there and grabbed me and tried to wrap me up. But I wouldn't let him wrap me up because I didn't want on my neck, want him, keep my knife hand free. So I spinned up out of there and I got up, but the police got on 8, saving 8, so I couldn't dance with him no more. So now I'm looking for somebody to dance with, and everybody going off in all the units. Cause the other homeboys had to went down in the units and got all the other people who was involved in it. And Booby and Black Boy, the only two that got away, cause Booby took off like a jet and hid, and Black Boy disappeared too. Now Hound told me personally, and like I said, dude, he ain't no lit dude, Hound big old tall something.
I'm picturing you in Hound dancing because I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Hound taller than me. I'm like,
Yeah. Hound about 6'4", 6 something, but now I'll get to it, man. He ain't no he ain't no cow, he ain't no punk,
no. Hold on.
ain't no rat, but
I'm
he
not talking about, hold up, Bam. It ain't about Hound, bro. You 4'11" and Hound up here. So how is you working?
yeah. I mean, he I called him here, right? But he
I
wasn't
heard
like
he got hit in the forehead. Oh, you got hit
no,
in the throat?
I hit him right. You look at his jaw right now. He got. Remember, we met up again. We met up again in when I was in.
Coleman one?
Now we met up again in special management unit.
Okay.
Now Two Gun Tommy stabbed him up in what's it called?
Coleman one.
Yeah, Coleman one, because two gun. When I had just got down there, Two Gun Tommy had came to the yard. And we came to the yard, they were saying it was suspect on him, right? And they were saying it was suspected he supposed to been playing game or something like that. I wasn't down there with him, but he supposed to been playing game with the folks. So now we were looking for somebody viable to that was in the penitentiary with him, and that he working for the folks and going on. So while he was out there, and they was holding, it was, we were trying to find out what was going on. Hound took an old man Kane, took a dude Kane, homeboy Kane, and just cracked him across the head, you know what I'm saying, and run him on out. So he go up, he go up, right? So after he go up, now him and Hound run across each other at Coleman, and then Tommy butchered him. And he said Hound said Booby ran off and left him there. You know what I'm saying? So Booby ran off and left him when Hound when Two Gun Tommy, called Two Gun Tommy, he an old head, but he worked that night pretty good himself. So now that when we got down to special management unit in Lewisburg, him Boo, Boo, and all they when the folks had team in going on, they rolled with me. Actually, they put Hound in the cell with Big Mitch from DC, and me and Big Mitch had got kind of cool because his people had told him about me. So when they put Hound in there, Mitch sent me a kite up under the door. Said, "Hey man, listen," and then he got the dude. He gave me Hound real name going on. Ain't that the one of the dudes you got into who ain't going on? Blah blah blah. And I told him, I said, yeah, be a homeboy, man. I said, oh, he said, well, he wrecked with me. Now, Big Mitch is about 7 feet. Big old son going. So I said, nah, he coming to wreck tomorrow. So he come to wreck. So we go out to wreck. And we go out the wreck and go up there. That when Hound tell me, he said, listen here, man. He said, everything you was telling us was right, man. He said, Black Boy did that old shit. And he was laughing and joking about how he played game with both sides when he was down there. So he was in the hole, staying away from us, and said he was joking, bullshitting about it. So Hound told me, he said, man, look here, he said, if you through with it, I'm through with it. He said, if you want to do it when we get on the yard, we'll do it. I said, okay, well, we'll see about it then going on. I said, you need anything now though? I said, he said, yeah, I could use some stamps. So I sent him some stamps and stuff over there. And then that's when he helped me to the fact that when I was in 4 Points, he said that the police, I remember when I was in 4 Points, they come got my card off the door. When they come got my card off the door, I'm thinking they finna come in there and team me because I'm laying there in 4 punch. I'm strapped to the bed, laying flat on the bed. So they left with my card, but they didn't come back and team me. And I never did. I figured maybe they didn't have enough people and they had to call it off. But Hound ended up telling me, he said, man, you know they came and he said they came and showed me your card and said, you want me to put you in the cell? You want me to put you in the cell? You keep it out. Now, Hound had smashed a homeboy named JC from New Orleans. Him and Hound got into it in the hole. Hound had to send him to the hospital. They had to send him to the hospital after Hound smashed him. So Hound wouldn't take no selling. So they were telling Hound, you gonna you better take whoever we put in there, or we gonna bring Sebastian Richardson in there and put him in there and show them my card. And Hound like, you bring him on. You ain't said nothing. So Hound said he told him, you ain't said nothing wrong. You told him what I would have told him. Hound said he told him, go get him, bring him on. So that's why when they came back and put my card up there, and he was peeping there, and I said, yeah, okay, well, I got a lawsuit going on right now. I said, that the game they trying to play. And he said, yeah, man, going on like that. I said, okay then. So anyway, long story short, I helped him start. He started him a little ticket. I helped him start a little ticket. I had them straight stunning books. You know, I had a bunch of them straight stunning books. So I gave him some of them to sell to get the stamps and going on. Then he started because I'm on right now. I'm still on restriction. I'm on store restriction to a 30, 30, 35. You know, I mean 20, 20, 35. See what I'm saying? So I'm still on restriction. So he was sending me, chocolate can and stuff down there, the Zuzus and Wham Wham that I eat. But when me and the folks got into it, he was on the door with the rest of them, and Boo come down there and some of the other homeboys, because I had got with Lil Pee Wee. Pee Wee is the co-founder to Boo and some of them down there with the Cut Boys. And me and me and T-Boo then when I got on the compound down there, T-Boo and Pee Wee, they were like, damn man, what's happening, bro? Blah blah blah, this and that. Dude tell me y'all solid, you solid dude, and you be trying to keep the car right. But you and the homeboys happened what happened down there. And I told him exactly what had happened. Boom, this was happening, such and such. So I mean, it's on you. Whether you fuck with me or not, this is what I stand for. This is what I don't play no game. And T-Boo, God rest in peace, man. T-Boo just a sly as a fox, man. That's all good. That's all good. Stayed in some of everything, man. But he rode with me. But me and Hound and we had talked it over, man. And he said, well, if you want, he said, everywhere I go, he said, everywhere I went, man, dudes got respect for you, man. And he said, man, and he said, but what I respect most is that you didn't call me no rat. You didn't put no bad bone on my name. You ain't going, because I told him, I said, nah, man, dude the man. I said, he just ended up letting the dude trick him, and with that still New Orleans Shreveport thing in his head, because he had never been nowhere. See, when you've been in your backyard and you got 200 New Orleans dudes with you, or you got 100 Shreveport dudes with you and going on. Now you don't get a chance to mingle outside your area. But when they send you way down to Colorado and it's 2 New Orleans dudes, 2 Shreveport dudes, Ruston, some other different places, it's about 5 or 6 of y'all on the compound. Now you have to be about the whole boot. You have to be there for each other. And they never got to experience that. So that game was that state mentality was able to be used against them. And so that's why when me and him got together, but it basically, that's what he was talking about when he was saying about the knife thing, because he said, don't never give a homie the knife and going on. And like I said, I made sure that they all got, all the ones that I knew was men's, I made and wanted it. I made sure that the dude, we had the homeboy from Baton Rouge, I was paying the tab for him to get it. And I still right now, dudes say, me and the dude talked about that one time, and I told him I wouldn't change the thing I did. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way I want to be on the compound where I got 200 homies and they walking around with fence wire. You know what I'm saying? Because in some situations that's gonna be needed. And then they was getting into everything, and I was stopping. Boy George, the G27. When I got out the hole, he wanted the first one to talk to me before I take care of our business. Because the G27, he come at me because two homeboys, two dudes out of two homeboys out of New York get into it, and they out there on the fighting on the yard, and both of them were single sellers. Two little homeboys go in both of the dudes' cell and steal the dude's stuff. So I go down there to mud. I said, man, what? And the dudes, they pulled up on me when I'm getting out. I'm coming out the hole. I'm walking down the wall. They pulled up on me when I get out the hole. I'm coming out. Coming out the kitchen. They pulled up on me, but Bud George was in Marion with me. Bud George had told Tiz, hey man, don't let one of y'all go up there and walk up to him, because if all y'all go up there and walk up and try to talk to him, he ain't gonna be listening to what y'all say. He gonna feel some kind of way. He gonna get this feeling. He said, I was down there with him. He seen what I did. So anyway, he came on up there and explained everything. I said, okay, well, let me go see. You tell me this about my homie. Let me go find out what's going on. I mean, I appreciate you telling me. I ain't gonna just take your word and go move on my homie and find out I'm gonna go find out what's going on. So I went and talked to Mutt and him, and the two little dudes that did. I said, man, y'all go home. I tell the dudes, y'all go home, and one of them went home in like 6 months, and the other went home in like, I think, man, a year. And I went and got all the dudes shit going on, except the only thing we're missing was the stamps, and I took it from running my stove. I get the dudes both of their stuff that they had took up out there and going on, cause the dude was like, I said, no, ain't nobody gonna bring them no move on the thing. They too stupid to be on the compound, but there ain't nobody gonna bring them no move. Now y'all either accept this stuff and go on, and we'll deal with them, or y'all gonna deal with them and we deal with y'all. Simply that, we deal with the situation at hand. And but George was telling them, man, listen, this little dude about his business going on. So they accepted stuff. I took the stamps out of my store. And so I took the homeboy and I told him, I said, man, y'all going on up top. I said, you too stupid to be on the compound around me. You finna go home and you finna end up being a killing or get some men to be in a killing or some jailhouse ass shit. And I told them going on in. They went on in. They went on in without no trouble, but they was doing that kind of stuff down there. And I'm telling them, y'all jacking off the yard, man. Y'all supposed to be, y'all ain't doing nothing to make no money. Y'all sitting here robbing for 10 books of stamp, this or that, man. These dudes, dudes is sending, man, dudes was sending thousands and thousands of dollars home, man. You know what I'm saying? Dudes will make that money with down there to be made. You know what I'm saying? And y'all on these dope fiend moves, but yeah, that's basically what happened, man. Everything was now if there's anything that I missed that you need to know intricately, let me know, cause I'm
now all that I want to know was, because this the story I heard was Hound was sitting in the TV room and he said, come on, man, the homie's getting into it on the rec yard. And so he jumped up and ran out to the yard, and they say it was like, first I heard it was 20 on 20, then I heard 13 on 13. I heard y'all
13 on 13, but Hound was out. Hound came out there after somebody went in. Hound and 8 came out. Remember I told you they came out and got up under the tower.
Right.
We hadn't even started dancing yet, because Hound was the first person that we kicked off the dance with. But somebody went in there and told them something. Cause remember I told you when they came out, they came out and on that yard and got right there. And I'm looking like, I said, okay, but they and do like, man, they know something. Somebody don't know, which we found out which homeboy said it, went up there and told them. But the same homeboy who gave him the okay to make that move against school. You see what I'm saying? See, they had got an okay from one of our homeboys on our side to make the move, because school wasn't breaking him off nothing either. But anyway, long story short, somebody went in there and alerted him. Cause I don't know where he was in his unit, but he was in the unit. Then all of a sudden he come out, and then he come up there and he come on that yard and he got under the tower part. Then 8 came over that way. You know what I'm saying? So he came out scrapped. So evidently they hadn't told him something.
No. What I'm saying, it was just two of them on the rec yard with y'all.
No. Yeah, it was Hound and 8 on the rec yard. Everybody else, my dudes met them in their unit.
Oh, they went to the unit and go dance.
Yeah, went to the unit got them.
So did they come? All of them come to the hole? All y'all was in the hole?
Yeah. All of us came to the hole. All of us. They had us all in the hole.
Oh, okay.
And they shipped us. in. Cause I told them I ain't laying around in the hole. But when they gave us they shipped us. They shipped us all in by like a month because we had the hole jammed up and going on. But the dude one of the homeboy from Baton Rouge, he was already in the hole and everything. So they were packing them up three deep, and I wasn't taking no three people in no cell. I said, I don't do no three. So they were selling death through the door and going on booby keeping everything going. But I'm looking at when I go for the shot. Now that's what I was looking at because I had, all the shots I had been catching was stabbing and knives and this and that. So I go out here, and I think the institution put some protection on themselves. Because when they didn't like the fact that it was like when the captain called me when they was taking us in because I wouldn't lay down. Everybody else had to lay down. Hound them were laying down. Everybody lay down. I wouldn't lay down, and they told me, Richard, lay down or we gonna shoot. And then the man said, call my name, Bam Bam. I ain't laying down. Long as people moving, I ain't laying down. So them started going. When they came in, they started coming in. They were passing by me and some of my people. They were passing by me and them, and they was going grabbing other people. When they started doing that, then I threw my Jimmy in front of me, and then I laid where I could reach and get it. And then they came and they walked. I said, I ain't cuffing up on no yard. And they walked us all in the thing. So when they was coming in there, bandaging us, and when the doctors were working on us and going on, they bandaging us. That's when the captain told me, man. He said, I didn't even want you here, man, because I had did something. I was a part of something similar in Colorado. And he said that I had been a part of that before or did it. And he said, my people can't do nothing with the way you do stuff. That by the time they get over here, there's another distraction here, and my man's is rendered inefficient. So he said, that's why I didn't want you here. So they turned me down for 3 times coming there. So anyway, long story short, when I go see the shot, I go down there with the incident report, and they called me for DHO. Well, when I got the incident report, I read it, and it said me and Hound was fighting each other. Boy, I hurry up and copped out to that. There, I'm ready. I copped out that sun going so quick, man. I couldn't wait to get the 4 DHO.
Yeah.
Man, I heard you copped out there, man. Let's sign, sealed, and delivered. Come on, yeah, that's what we were doing fighting.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's good, man. All right, listen, bro. You got any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
Well, hey, man, I want to thank you again. I want to thank your fans and your people, man, and you for the support that y'all gave me in this endeavor. I want them to know, man, I'm putting something. I got a mini documentary I done put on, and then I'm looking there to do a podcast with you, man, over on my site, so we can do some things, and I can ask you some questions this time.
All right, let's get it.
And like I said, my nephew, Hot Boy Gator, man, he got an album just coming out. I don't know if he told you about it. He got an album just coming out. I got
man, he just let me get on the album, man. I could have did some balls, man.
Man, you been saying you wanted to drop something, so we gonna lock in behind the scenes.
Okay.
And then I got I got Big Papa and I got Pee Wee's and my nephew going on, man. They doing something. Check their tracks out. And I thank you again, man. I thank you for everything.
It's all good, bro. So let's go on your channel now.
All right, then.